Now, a decider, if we do get to it as well, is not going to be comfortable ground for Imperial either. It's ancient. It's been a bit of a shakier map for both of them, but we have the
Yeah.
privilege of having watched Imperial play Bravo. And to be quite frank, it wasn't a pretty picture there either. We just didn't really see a lot that indicated to us that they had a good feel for how to play the map just yet. Can be a tricky one if you don't have that read. But it is going to be a remix here from Havan and Liberty, starting things off nicely for the CT side. Quick pop, quick drop. That's going to be one player down on the concrete already. Seems like we're going to get a stairs play. But a push of the periphery here. Golly. Might just shut this down early. That's the bomb confirmed. He's going for more. He's got this fight isolated. Does damage onto CKZal, but it's not going to be the kill just yet. Still, reinforcements have gotten back into the angle, and they're already probing for more in terms of a fight. Delboni will take advantage of that. Doc may be a bit over-aggressive. There's a player in the side hallway. And Remix is looking for them to come around the ramp, but not anticipating them up the side hall. Very sloppy here. Havan Liberty, they want the fight, but they're taking it very individually, and that's going to happen again. They're just fighting this one by one. They're not waiting to work with their teammates. That's going to be the bomb down, and Imperial will take full advantage of this in the pistol.
Skull's waiting, but no, he's just going to get greeted with bullets to the dome by CKZal, who kicks things off with a 3K here and brings Imperial up 1-0. Now, I do want to talk about one of the players on Havan Liberty that we're definitely going to have to keep an eye on. He's been the top frag for them throughout both of the matches they've played here in this qualifier. That is Remix. Over the last month, he's got 582 frags and a plus 113 kill to death differential, along with 43 kill plus rounds. That includes a 6 4Ks and an ace. So he is a stud and a player that really does carry this team forward on a lot of occasions.
Oh, tag on in there. Frag as well for Delboni. Start here. Pressure going to come back the other way, but it's not going to be substantial. Showtime's a little worse for the wear, but that's fine. Got the kill, they got some space bought, and there's a lot of room towards A if they want to capitalize. It seems like that's what Imperial's going to do. The rotation might float over here for Havan, but they better get quick on it because, well, Imperial's already worked their way up the ramp. They're going to realize nobody's here, and bit by bit, they're going to take more space. The Deegs will be in position to potentially punish, but Imperial, they just work this methodically, should still have the advantage. But avoid overexposing. Avoid playing into your opponent's hands. That nade's nicely timed to soften them up for some of the body shots, perhaps. But a missed opportunity here for Doc. One time now, they will try and get back around onto good kill, but he doesn't realize the player's already up forward. The comms weren't there from the teammates, so that bomb's going to go down. Maybe if he'd slipped into the hallway, there would have been a moment for survival, but that's not going to happen. And now this is interesting. A rifle's been committed into the post-plant snare. You can't get back over once you're stuck into that corner, so Delboni will be here. He's got teammates, he's got support. Seems likely that they're going to have the round.
Yeah, good clean up by Imperial. Although Havan was threatening a little bit at one point. That was a nice shot by Ale, but he was unable to convert the second one. And as a result, Imperial do cruise along to find that one. Havan forced up in the previous one, and now they're going to have to save up, maybe buy some P250s or Deagles, but outside of that, we're probably going to see their next proper buy-up in round number 4. And in fact, they just go for almost a full-on save here, Mike. 4 USPSs, and I believe that's a P2000. Only thing bought up here is a flashbang for Ale. That's it. And Showtime will be having a look towards this ramp. Delboni gets domed down to 39. That's a wicked shot coming through from DRG at the very least, but they're going to need a lot more of those against this Imperial roster. But I do like the fact that they're all stacked up here on the ramp. It's not a bad read, but it seems like after that dink, Imperial's falling off it.
Gotta go for something here. Gotta go for something to give yourself a little juice when you just got the base pistols. Okay. Good place to slow this to get shaky. There's gonna be a gun down for Showtime. That should just trigger the response with the bomb in towards B. They're not doing it just yet, but here they go. They heard the tick of the Molotov. Molly goes down. That should hold the flank. Bomb plant secured 100%. And with the deep position as well for ZQK here, as they come around, he should be able to clean up a little bit. ZQK, though, okay, taken down for free. It's just a MAC-10 given up. No cause for concern just yet. And that AK, they do want to make it through to the next round with it. But still, a little bit of money being taken away here by the Havan side. See if Imperial can avoid any further casualties.
I mean, already a pretty good round here for Havan. They upgraded to an AK, have a Mac 10 in Remix's hands, and I mean, he can drop that for someone else because he's going to have more than enough money to buy up in this next round. And yeah, a little bit of damage to the economy of Imperial. At least you do something in a round where very, very little is only $200. Horvey does take down Remix, so that Mac 10's out of the picture, but still, they got the AK, and now they'll be full on buying up. This is the first true test, I would say, for Imperial, who on their gun rounds, as we saw against Bravos, did not look the best.
Like the op out early for ZQK, we talked about it. Those ops were working for them. Need to see a bit more of that juice early, but it has been a good start. Let's see if Havan, some of the issues from the pistol round, maybe they'll carry over. Very aggressive play, individual play. This one's bold, to say the least, and a little bit of an overextension in that angle. Means that a player goes down. Delboni turns it into a second as they try and continue to fight that. So aggressive play on the ramp, not a lot of utility to give it cover. The op finds the first, but is so far into the angle that another's given up. Havan giving up the advantage right off the jump in this round, and now they're just going to come hunting back into the angle, crouch walking through with no util behind it. What are you trying to do here, Havan Liberty? You're just trying to take the fights. There's no plan to that.
Wow.
I think this team's going to frustrate me a little bit, John.
Perhaps, honestly. Havan.
What is your plan, right? Okay, the first guy sticking around, I can understand. You're kind of already committed to the angle. You want to see if you can bring that kill, bring the advantage back into whack. But then, why are two more players just slowly crouch walking around onto a ramp that you've given up, that you know is given up, that you know they can have control of? You have flashes. Throw one at least. Try for something. Skulls will get some damage. But not going to be able to take the round for sure.
I mean, that was rough. You're absolutely right. Nice shots by ZQK, to say the least, but, you know, there was really no reason for them not to be using it. Like you said, they knew that ramp had already been taken, but I do want to talk about it. No, he's not. I do want to talk about ZQK a little bit. Despite the fact that he wasn't able to do much against Bravos, well, against Paqueta, he managed to get an ace yesterday on Dust 2. He had a slow start on the map, but it was round number 22, and he got 2 over at Cat, and then jumped down to CT to find the next 2, and then on the B side finish things off. So it was a really nice play for his squad that were looking for that really big round victory, and he provided it. You know, he's usually doing that. He's in the top 3 in terms of frags on the squad, and you saw that his aim is quite crisp with that AWP.
To be aggressive posturing again. They've got the hand cannons here, so I can understand wanting to take this angle. A bit invested around that 1M4. Where is that 1M4? By the danger panel over towards B. Okay. For now, Imperial are content to sit in their default and see if aggression comes to them. They're going to take mid control. I really like this play, right? You hear the noise. You know there's some momentum going on towards the A ramp, so you just peel off and you encircle B. What does Skulls do here? Tough spot. He's going to try and fly back to the angle, take the fight, and, well, this is them getting blanked out of the round. CKZAL is the only potential vulnerability in terms of giving up a gun, and they haven't even planted the bomb yet, so they've got this deep control. They've got this deep positioning. They are very happy with it. DRG, can he make some money? Yes, but only for a moment, and that is going to be another wash out of the round for Havan.
Yeah, just another eco, though, so let's see the second rifle buy-up, if it has a little more in store for us than the previous one did.
All right, I just need to see them not peek one by one into death. That's all I need. I don't even need the round win yet, John. I just need to see a little discipline. Just a little. Not a lot. Smidge bit.
Well, let's see if that's what you get, Mike. Showtime is going to come through here, throw an immediate smoke at the entrance towards those B stairs. And Havan Liberty, well, they've given them the space. Skull's waiting at the top. Flashbang's going to get thrown here, and Skulls just wants to wait for them to walk into his crosshair. This angle can be dangerous. Especially if the T's get the advantage. He jumps on top, and he doesn't get punished for it. Now they're going to try and come around the corner, but the bodies are here for Havan. Damage going to be done to ZQK, Showtime, and Horby. They have to fall off this or just go straight up and take these fights.
Love that nade. That was chunky. A very bold play to hop over the danger panel to get some information. Very bold, to say the least. But this time it works out. Now, going back into that angle, bold again, but they have been given the space. There's still a player watching from below the steps in Horvey. He's going to try and control the rotation, make sure that their flank doesn't get pushed. But in the meantime, it's going to be the A pressures who are likely, the A players who are likely to be pressured. You know, the A pressures who are likely to be played. Nice early pick here. Remix, not going further into it. There you go. Get the kill. Don't overextend. Withdraw. Now you've got an advantage. You know you've done damage onto others. This is working out nicely. Good usage of the utility as well to continue to keep that pressure on. A little wary about the mid play, but the mid play has actually been given up by Imperial. Might be an exchange here. But if they just hold into this set, it should be good. A little awkward on the timing, but DRG is good for the shots. And that's the bomb down. They've lost their mid player as well. Doc will burn for it, but that's okay. That's a round converted for Havan. Okay, I like it. You still had the aggression. You still had the aggression out towards the B steps. You still got a little frisky with some of those info plays. But once you had the information gained from that aggressive play, instead of chasing the kills, you dumped the util, you backed off, you set up for the fight, and then that A play was a nice hold. So well done there for Havan.
Much more controlled and well-paced round from Havan, which is, of course, what we expect for a team that's played it 16 times and won 13 of those times. So let's see if they've got another good round in them here. The rifles are going to come right back out for Imperial because they were able to save up quite a bit of money due to the 5-round win streak. 4 AKs and the up along with full utility. Delboni's already pushed up into scaffolding. Remix has been holding it pretty well at the back halls here. With that AWP, not the most orthodox position to place the op, I should say. But, you know, it can work. You just get one and you fall off immediately and hope that a pincer attack doesn't come in from the ramp room. But that's why Willis, of course, had the support of his teammate here, right on his flank. Good utility being thrown by Imperial to try and force Remix off, but they don't. They do get the frag, though, and Showtime tries to flick around to drop DRG. He won't, but Delboni will. 4v3 for Imperial.
All right. Sort of the mid-ground of that aggression, maybe a little bit too much here. Delboni's going to be coming around with AWP, but the scope was heard. He's certainly heard on the shot now. The flash isn't capitalized on because Ale actually caught it. Bit of a missed opportunity there, and Delboni will capitalize. Knowing another player's pressured in, probably should have had that kill, but sticking around on top of the smoke, that's bold, to say the least. Now it's going to come down to a 1v3 for Skulls. Looks like you might consider the attempt, but if he doesn't find a player here on the flank, might quickly reconsider his options. This bomb will make its way to be planted. Player out by Cement, one in the side hallway. Decent setup for the hold, but they don't know where Skulls is coming from. If he gets this kill on ZQK, suddenly the round is in doubt. Now he's been spotted and not gotten the kill, though. He should be flanked out from this. Oh, peek, he's ready for it. He's ready for it. Great read. Still an opportunity, still time. The Opera has to be dealt with, but he spotted the shadow. Knows he's still confirmed here. Good job from ZQK to just bait that information, hold his gaze, and allow CK's out to come in for the finishing blow.
It still got pretty tight towards the end, but Imperial, they did a great job entering into that site. They isolated Remix with that AWP up close, and that's the risk, right? You take of positioning it so far up on that A site, is because if you don't hit your first shot, you're immediately traded out. Or not traded out, you immediately just go down. So Imperial do get a 6 on the board, and that op comes right back out for Havan Liberty in Remix's hands. We'll see if they position him in the same spot once more, but it's going to be 3 M4s and the MP9 around it. It looks like they've mixed things up, now favoring the rifles in these close engagements towards the ramp. It's Showtime through the smoke. Well, he's going to connect on Ale, and that will make it a quick 5v4 for Imperial, who defuse the Molotovs thrown their way. A couple of smokes. They're going to throw another one here. And Havan, well, Doc, I like the play. Good aggression coming through. He could catch someone off here, and he does.
What?
Delboni through the smoke. That's nutty.
What? How is he past? He's past Showtime. Showtime doesn't know he's so far deep. How have they not seen each other? They'll hear the reload now, and that'll be the kill, but the trade is there because there's a second player in the angle. That was like a comedy of errors of just nobody seeing each other. Skulls is trying to press the flank, meanwhile, down the B steps because Havan and Liberty only appear to have one gear, and that is drive. Now they're going to rock their way in towards B off these steps. The bomb's not yet committed. With the presence in mid. Got the players grouped up. Remix has to hit these shots. Remix no util. It's all going to be about the gun here. Peeking into the op. Oh, goodness. Doesn't get killed here, but will eventually be dropped from mid. I mean, this guy's fearless. You'll give him that. maybe a little foolhardy at times, but it is going to be another round for Imperial as they rock the scoreline up to the 7-1. Havan
What?
just really have never seen a fight they didn't want to take.
What is going on here, Mike? I mean,
Uh, this is just, it's an incredibly undisciplined CT side, is what I'll say.
yeah.
It's they're not playing together, really, in most any moment, right? Everyone's just kind of doing their own thing. The closest, I mean, we had that play in towards Forklift in the last round, but even that, they're not zoning out. No one clears the corner. No one checks the corner behind the box. No one looks left.
Yeah. I mean, the idea was good, but you have to have the rest of your team supporting you on that push, which didn't happen. Of course, not clearing the corner is not going to help. They're going for a push again. They've got the pistols out. I'm not sure this is going to materialize too much of anything, because Imperial are waiting for exactly this to happen. And as you can see, nice little spray transfer there for Delboni. 3K comes through. Skull's the last one standing, who does get one, but 19 HP, a deagle, and a smoke by his side. There's not much he can do. Another nice shot at the very least on ZQK, but he will go down to CK Zhao and Imperial, who really have not played a lot of Vertigo versus Havan, who, like we said, play it all the time, are going to take the first half already, and the scoreline very lopsided.
Yeah, I mean, what you will say is you do favor the T side here on Vertigo, but
Yes, but
the issue that Havan Liberty are having isn't, you know, map things. It's not, oh, that A ramp take is just really good. It's that they're chasing. It's that they're fighting. I would love to see a round, frankly, where they just sit back and let a default come in, let an execute come through, and see if they can't deal with it. Doc is going to get an opening pick here, so that's something. Working in the side hallway, but now you've got the advantage. You don't have to fight it, Havan. You can give it up.
yeah, and I mean, when Havan have the advantage on Vertigo, they win 76.5% of the time, Mike. So, as you said, take it easy, fall back to your positions. There's no reason to be aggressive after this point.
Oh, CK Zhao, I like this boost up in towards mid. Doc's got another kill in the meanwhile. He's got full control of the forklift. Ali is pushed off of this, but he knows the players were coming through, and now Remix can post up on the angle. So here we go. Molly to try and force the catwalk fight. It does come through, but there's a second player there, and the trade is instant. CQK, alone versus 4 now, has got plenty of money to go for the fight, but it's not going to happen. Not here, not now. Havan Liberty finally stand up for this second round. And let's talk about what that was. You had the aggression still coming through from Doc. This time, though, it worked because Imperial given the opportunities to have isolated fights. On the other side of the map, they played very disciplined, right? The op wasn't going over forward into it. Remix was playing fairly far back. They had an engagement in mid, but as soon as Ale saw presence there, he's backing off of it. He's throwing utility for his teammate to help them out. I like that round from Havan.
Oh, me too. It reminded me of the first round they won, right?
Right, yeah.
Very little bit of aggression at the beginning, and then they fall back into their positions and hold static spots and don't go too far up. That's, I mean, that's the recipe to success.
He's made the noise.
Yeah, they're going to hear him, maybe not. No, Delboni's not looking there. Oh, now he sees him over the tip of the smoke, and Doc will go down. So Imperial trying to strike back here. DRG uses the gap between the sandbags over on the A ramp to take down Delboni and even things out at a 4v4. Remix for an opportunity to push out a little bit more, maybe get an angle into forklift. DRG's going to support him on his peak. Here he comes. DRG gets one and then backs off. That's the advantage they were looking for, but Remix stays for more and gets punished by Horvey. 3v3. So again, Imperial get a chance to push on forward. They should be able to get a frag here. No, Horvey denied. DRG manages to find him. ZQK getting the trade, so it's just been back and forth action in this round. We're sitting at a 2v2. Imperial do have control of this A site, but Havan are right there.
Now the clutch needed for ZQK. It's a decent angle to zone this. Misses the shot on the healthy player. May not have too many more opportunities. There's the bait, but they got to capitalize now. He's been allowed to rechamber. Once a lack of aggression costing them. Well, they could just hop on the bomb, but the smoke's not actually going to cover it off. ZQK's going to work in the smoke. I love this. There's the IDQ coming in. Alice trying to get a tap on towards the bomb.
He's not
ZQK.
checking.
Is he just going to sit this? Checking. Oh, no! He tried to call the bluff, and it wasn't a bluff. It was the play. He's even going to get away with an AWP. They could have kissed that entire time. ZQK could have reached out and touched him. And he just sits there through the whole thing.
At least have a look after the first 2 or 3 seconds, right? Just have a peek at the bomb. It wasn't covered by the smoke. Oh my goodness, a misplay there on the Imperial side, and the round handed over to Havan Liberty. Oh my goodness. Well, they will certainly take that. And of course, the AWP grab is the cherry on top of that round. Skull's going to be on top of the B stairs right now, looking for some information. Delboni the opening frag, so Imperial do find that opener again, and that's a great second one over on Remix. The op is deleted. Showtime isolating DRG. He has nowhere to go, and Imperial have given themselves a 5v2 just like that.
Skulls brings back a kill. Okay, that's another one for free. Not capitalized. There it is. Suddenly this round is viable, but now there was perhaps overplay a little bit. Skulls wasn't in position to help that out. Was just playing on the flank. So Skulls is going to go ahead and save this gun. That is going to be a round win for Imperial. They'll rock on to their 9th. And the money should be just about in the dumpster here for Havan. So they'll probably concede double digits here. Can't imagine they're going to force in. Need to get towards that 5.
Yeah.
Really be good to have it.
And here's the thing about that round. As opposed to the previous ones where Havan were pushing up, being over-aggressive, and making mistakes in individual plays, I think Delboni just hit some nutty shots and opened up a lot of space for his team to push up to that site.
All right.
Yep.
Skulls, massive play. Where's it going to come from?
Hey, look, you never know. One rifle's all it takes, right?
Where's it go? Where's that one rifle? Over on towards B, so they're just playing their traditional spots, and it's going to be super aggressive for Doc. What else? Doesn't really have another mode, it seems. Okay, so you gain the space by the side hallway. You can go through? What's happening here on ramp? Eventually, you gotta back out. Skulls, they try and flash him over, but he eats the flash from his teammate. Timing's not there, and so that one rifle is so far committed that there is no world in which they'll be able to recover it. This round is pretty much over. Showtime, burning alive with no ball. Might have been the greatest risk to win this round, and it's not gonna happen. They'll even shoot each other in the back of the head a couple times for good measure, but this round is over. I mean, that is such a bold play. You take your one M4 and you commit it into a flash peek. If you're going to do that, you better have the timing on the actual flash.
Yeah, the timing was off, of course, and just going for that play is a little odd, in my opinion. Usually you want to kind of give a little bit of a cushion to that rifle, put a pistol in front of them, and leave the rifle a bit further back onto the site so that, yes, if the pistol player does go down going for that info peek and hopping over towards the B stairs, at least you have the rifle back there to try and get the trade, maybe even more than that, because you'll have Imperial thinking they have the edge, running onto that site, maybe forgetting about the fact that an M4 was saved in the previous round. But this time, yeah, it's not going to happen. Imperial get the 10th round, and Havan Liberty, well, it's been a very rough first half of action. Doc gets one, but that's just a consolation prize. All right, heading into round number 14, Imperial looking strong, much better than when we saw them against Bravos, which makes me feel even more, Mike, like that was an off day for them.
Yeah. It definitely does, especially since a lot of the issues came for them in the discipline and how they wanted to play things. That's not being an issue for them now. Delboni catching the aggression. They've done this so many rounds in a row, trying to go out the scaffolding, and this time he just punishes. Showtime back in the angle. That might be a bit bold, but DRG will just continue the fight. Doesn't want to back away. Wants to try and finish the issue here. So once again, Havan Liberty, being fully committed into that aggression, will be punished for it. And now they're in a 3v2. Imperial can take their time. They can leave. They can go towards wherever they want on the map. They obviously don't know that the full rotations come through, but they've probably got a pretty good idea that Havan had to respond. So they'll head over and see what they can find at the B steps, which is a free and vacant bomb site.
It's so weird, Mike, that they're so committed and towards that aggression. 3 players charging up through scaffolding and into the crosshairs of Imperial. Sure, you only have a man down here, 3v2. It's viable, but you gave up the A site completely, forced a rotation over from both your players, thinking that's where the hit was going to come, and now you've given the opposing team a free bomb site. So, yeah. Anyway, ZQK is going to be watching down here towards the bottom of B stairs, and I think he will. Yeah, he sees the rifle of skulls, finds the first one, and this should be an easy game, right? Yep, it
Why?
is. ZQK gets it.
Why? Why would you peek there? In what world does it help you out?
I don't know.
That one kill, that $300 is not going to make the difference. He's got plenty of money to reinvest. There's one more round left in the half. What?
I think they forgot it was not last round of the half or something.
But even then, it doesn't make any sense. That's just he's low. Sure, he's low. Maybe you can get the kill, but it doesn't matter. Unless his bomb happens to drop straight into happens to drop straight into your hands, there's no advantage gained in that. There is no advantage in taking that fight for Havan Liberty. 1v3, you're not winning at that point, but I guess they're desperate for rounds. This team is just, whew, they better have a ripper of a T side, because this CT side leaves a lot to be desired. Flash is going to come over. Horvey just applying some pressure will hold the players there, but I think, again, they're just going to hold for Doc to push into them, and guess what? Doc's going to push into them.
Mike, he sounds so discouraged about this.
It's just like, come on. Yep, there he goes. Reliably is in the forklift. You're going to flash your way in. The flash doesn't even connect, but it's okay. Just clear him out. You know he's there. You know he's isolated. So nicely done. So far, playing to the book. Here's the difference. But they're holding for it. They're holding for it. Here's going to be the W key held down. Oh, they won't expect another player in this angle, and that's true. But they've lost a player elsewhere. So finally, their aggression actually did catch someone off guard. But now the bomb's going to make its way on towards B. And DRG is going to have to pull off a clutch just to try and get Havan Liberty a 4th round. And he will be shot in the side of the head. Unfortunate there. It will be a 12-3 half. We'll be back after this quick break. All right, we're back with the second half of play after a very lackluster CT side from Havan Liberty. They will get the pleasure of attacking now. I mean, this is their map pick, but they really didn't have a whole lot to show us in the first half. Imperial taking full advantage of that and playing a nice, just disciplined brand where they just waited for the aggression to come to them. This time they'll go in together with a team of 3 to clear out mid, and Ali is down right off the rip.
Nice.
It's going to trigger the response up the B stairs, but now the response can come in back the other way, and there's 4 players here ready for this hit. So they have been read like a hook. Can they execute? Yes, they can.
My.
Bodies hitting the floor, no problem here. And it's looking like Havan is going to get as blanked out of this round as they were out of the last half.
I love that pistol strat so much. Send 3 players into mid looking for a frag. Once you find it, everyone fall back to the bomb site and get ready for a push. Perfectly done by Imperial. Havan did not kick off this second half as I'm sure they were hoping for. That's just, like you said, great read from Imperial across the board. And to note, Mike, looking at Havan on Vertigo, typically they win about the same amount of rounds on their T side as their CT side, so I don't know what was going on in that first half of action. But anyway, let's see if they can get back into this one here on a force buy with Tech-9s, 4 of them, and a PG-50. Perhaps going for some more aggression here up the ramp. It looks like it.
Probably it's Doc pushing the side hallway. It needs to be Doc. Here's going to be the play around, but the Tech-9 connects for 2. DRG nearly finding a third. There comes the third, and there's the flank out. So these Tech-9 just running into their face. It's worked. There were multiple players in the angle, but no one seemed to be looking in the right place at the right time. So opportunity taken. Horby now, does he really want to stick around? There's just a hail of bullets coming his way at any one moment. So many targets fine to bring this back through, and yeah, he will in fact lose his life. So the SMG's claimed a ton of extra assets to bring into this round, and Havan Liberty, they pull out the force buy.
That's a spark of life, if ever there was one. I mean, DRG around that corner with just, wow, some great shots coming from the Tech-9. Sure, you can spam Tech-9 a little bit, but the aim was on point, and he gets a couple for himself, and after that point, it just snowballed in favor of Havan Liberty. Not what you're hoping for on round number 2 of this second half of your Imperial, because you win the pistol round, you're in full control, it's 13-3. But now your economy is in a little bit of a tough spot. They're feeling confident, though. They will go for the force buy. 3 Deagles, the 5-7, and the Scout coming through. And it looks like... Are they sending a player up there? No. They're hanging back for the time being, Mike.
Horby's got a lot of responsibility here. He is the only player on this side of the map. It was a stack. Well, he's going to connect
nice
a shot. Okay, you guys have utility. Yeah, use that to zone out some of this danger. Nicely done for Havan, that they don't just immediately hold the gas pedal down once they see a player. A little bit of risk here coming around the corner, and Delboni will present that threat. Now 2 players to receive them. Need to clear this out. They need to zone this. Can't afford to give up these initial engagements. And eventually Horvey is dealt with. That was a lot of restraint shown based on what we've seen so far for Havan. That's going to be the bomb planted down, and the Liberty will have a pretty prime opportunity for the post, especially with Skulls deep down the B steps. He wants to go forward. Would be a bit risky. No, just going to play the off angle on it. And this will work. Not. Okay, thought that was a ripper, but ZQK manages to pull that around just in time. Still, without kits, they should not have time to execute this through. Delboni, his AK might just be worth holding on to, but he wants to try and get something out of it, and, well, they'll lose it.
Ooh, I'm not sure I'm a fan of going for that retake so aggressively with an AK in hand, especially considering this next round is going to be very tough for Imperial. I mean, I get maybe trying for 1 frag, but continuing to move forward after losing a body. All right, well, either way, Imperial will surrender the round to Havan. They do a decent amount of damage to their economy, taking down 3 players, but Havan had enough money built up to fully buy up once more here with 4 AKs and the AWP. Now Imperial is on a full-on save, and as a result, they are going for the stack onto this A site. Already saw 1 player down the ramp, and Doc continues to spam it even though the smoke came because he figured CK Zhao would peek again, and he absolutely did. So there's the opening frag for Havan. Perhaps a read that the stack would be in that direction. I mean, they all already know that there's a stack because no one is on this B site, and it's a free plant, Mike.
I like how DRG just burns himself down just a little bit. Just to feel the lick of the flame. Feel alive here. Right, so there's not much to be gained from hunting. But has that ever stopped Havan Liberty before? It's weird that they're actually showing way more discipline on their T side
Yes.
than they did at all on their TT. 1, 2, Doc's just knocking down the targets, and they're like, you know what? We won't go around that corner to die. We won't. You can't make us. Understandable. Just relax here. Staying through the walls with the USB. It just doesn't matter, and Doc's going to pull away a nice little anti-eco ace. Feasting on those USBs to pump his numbers right on up there. How about Liberty clawing it back?
A pretty easy ace there. Probably the easiest I've seen in some time. But yeah, does get that round for his squad, a 6 on the board. Here are the rifles once more for Imperial. So let's see if Havan is going to pull off a similar T-side to Imperial, or if Imperial can shut them down here and inch ever closer to victory on what is Havan's map pick. We're going to see a run boost come through here, and they make it. The jump towards the stairs hits the mark, but Imperial are watching for it, so they know they're there.
V gets the timing on the first. He is burning, though. Has to drop that smoke while he's blinded up, trying to fumble with the smoke. There comes the kill. 3 back the other way. A cacophony of them. Okay, here's the Havan team that we were expecting to get in this game, right? This is what we were expecting to get from the jump. They were just kind of missing in the first half, but this is decisive. The utility goes in, applies huge amounts of pressure, and then the kills come in off of it, keeping your opponents off balance, keeping them blinded, burning, what have you, and then taking that space. Meanwhile, they've got deep control on the flanks, so there's no real risk coming in with the player already below the steps, one approaching in towards spawn. You like this round for the Havan Liberty.
Oh, yeah, that's an excellent take of B. Like you were saying, great flashbangs, utility flying in, able to clear it out pretty much without a problem. A nice run boost that wasn't really the reason why they won the round, but still, even though they were spotted out, they were able to overcome that presence from Imperial. So there's that 7 round on the board, still down by 6, and a couple of rifles saved over on the Imperial side, so they can force up around this, get a 3 MP9s. Maybe even a FAMAS in the mix, but I think they're going to go for the more conservative buy-up, and they do. They want to keep their economy in control for the most part, so they go for a Deagle, 2 Deagles, and a 5.7 around the AUG and the M4, which, of course, is very viable.
Creek time! Creek time.
There's always one, isn't there?
Now there is. It's coming back into fashion, man. I'm telling you. It's just like, you know, kids going back to wearing overalls. The Krieg's coming back around to have its time. I've been seeing a lot of overalls in the neighborhood. I guess they're hip again. Yeah, it feels like we're going back to 90s fashion. Flannels and overalls are getting popular. Everything is cyclical, man. Everything is cyclical. I don't have a good pair of overalls, John. I need to invest.
I do not. I do not look good in overalls, and I wore them as a kid, and I dread that moment. At that time.
You know what? I'll dispute that notion. I bet you could rock a good pair of overalls with like a nice flannel underneath. I think you could rock it. You've got
okay.
The beard. You could go for like a like, you know, a little bit of like a home improvement vibe.
Maybe you're right,
you could do it. I think you could do it. I think you could pull off overalls.
Well, one thing that won't be pulled off here is a round victory by Imperial, as they've lost every single body. Not much of a challenge for Havan in this round, and I think ZQK just wants to save the AUG into the next one. So will be an 8th picked up by Havan Liberty. They've held Imperial to only that pistol round victory. Got 5 rounds in a row for themselves. Well, at least you think so. ZQK is going to get a couple of frags here before the bomb is even planted. So now a 1v5 turns into a 1v3, and he's going to throw the AWP away. I like that play. Goes for the AUG instead, of course, since that's the better weapon in this situation.
Okay. Ooh, little slip away. They're not going to be able to do anything about this. Gun survives. Unless Doc somehow finds him going up the ladder. Doc's going to do it. Is he going to do it? He's going to do it. Oh, he's made noise? No way they get this kill. But the chase is there, and they do on the second. Should have just been able to hold down the spray, but not quick enough. The fire rate on that AUG, not always ideal for those kind of angles. So will be Havan taking through the 8th and making sure that no guns survive either. So they'll empty the bank. They'll reinvest back into this. It's actually a pretty good buy here for Imperial, but their round lead has just dwindled here. It's down to just 5.
Yeah, I think they would have like to get something out of that round, but just lost every single body. And you're right, the lead is really getting cut into by Havan now. They're looking extremely strong on their T side. They're going for some more aggression up this A ramp. Utility flying on forward. Imperial getting ready to deal with the potential onslaught, but Havan decided to slow the pace down a little bit, at least for a moment, as Imperial are ready and waiting for these engagements. CK's out, coming around the corner, looking at the ramp. He will get the first flashbang. No trade comes through, so Imperial have the edge, at least momentarily, with HP about even on both sides. Doc coming forward, though. He will find CK's out. Maybe a second over on Delboni. Indeed, Doc doing the damage. Man advantage gain now for Havan, and they're going to get this bomb planted, Mike. Good Molotov thrown, though, by Showtime to force them off that bomb site. Oh, what a flick into the smoke by ZQK. That's going to even things out. Give Imperial a much better shot at this retake.
I feel like I'm watching Jekyll and Hyde here with this Havan Liberty team from the first half. We'll see in a second. I'm going to talk about it after the round, but obviously this post plant very important. That smoke, does it cover? No, not really. Not really. You got to stick out of that smoke. That was completely flubbed. A real whiff of the right click, and ZQK is just going to have to give this up. We'll fortunately be able to slip, but they're going to chase. Why not? That's how this team functions, and they've got plenty of money at this point. You might as well throw it at trying to get that AWP out of his hands. So it will just be the AWP to make it through, but that's going to be a 9th round found now for the Havan Liberty. So let's talk about how radical, because it's not just that aggression lends itself better on the T side. It obviously does, but Havan Liberty look like a completely different team. The utility is on point. The timing is on point. They use their Molotovs to force the fight, and then they capitalize perfectly on the timing of those fights. And then when they're threatened back the other way in the post plant, the smokes come out with precision to give their teammates an opportunity to slip away. It's so well coordinated and timed. Everything that looked sloppy and off in the first half is now working beautifully. And again, they're weirdly enough way more disciplined. They're not chasing in the post plants until the round is well under whack. They're not overtaking those fights. This is a really good T side. It again makes me just so confused by what we saw in that first half, but this is excellent. And for Imperial, meanwhile, some of the things that worked beautifully for them in the first half in terms of not getting over aggressive in the early round, not taking a ton of space, letting Havan Liberty make the play and then come to them, well, it doesn't work so much here because the issue is once the takes come in, if you've got even numbers, this is a really tough map to make that retake happen. So, okay, the run boost.
Again.
The classic run boost works out. There's the kill. Oh, Doc. Just flying through the air. There's the aggression. Now they're going to capitalize immediately after this response. I mean, there was little working in this round, but now there's going to be nothing. They're shut down. You got to save that off. That is the new primary objective of this entire round, and there's only going to be the off to save. What a shutdown from Havan Liberty. Oh, the jump, the B hopping through. He only gets a tag there, but there's a player on the flank, and there's just nowhere for ZQK to go. He knows the Wolves are in his face. A 1v3. Don't give him a chance back into the round, and Remix will shut that down. But what a round for Doc.
And Ale, well, that movement, he survives jumping through the molly, going for that last frag, and almost got it because ZQK missed his first shot, but then he couldn't capitalize. But still, wow, what an explosive hit onto that A site, or B site, excuse me, by Havan Liberty. Honestly, that's the second time they've hit that run boost, and I cannot explain enough how difficult it is to hit that consistently, and they have done it twice in one match. Really nicely done on the Havan Liberty side. And as you said, completely different squad. Doc's going to get the opener now, and CK's out. Double op setup comes through for Imperial. ZQK waiting for that trade to come through, waiting for a player to charge up this ramp, but it's just not happening. Havan, they've made the noise on the A site. They know that Imperial have it in their heads now, and they're going to fall back and be patient. Wait for Imperial to make that mistake. Yes, Mike.
I think that was the first time Doc's actually gone for that hall fight on the other side, right? The first half, always pushing down scaffolding every round like clockwork, and then getting punished for it. Oh, that was an overpeak from Showtime. Had no information on the steps, but he thought he had Horvey here, but Horvey didn't have the vision, and now Horvey will go tumbling on down 51 floors down to his death. This bomb will be planted. This round is once again over, and Imperial, they have just been completely blanked since the pistol in this half. They've got nothing. ZQK tries to force the issue here, and it's not happening. It's not happening at all.
Wow. Who would have thought we'd see perhaps a more dominant T side than that first one coming through from Havan Liberty? Ay, ay, ay. They are just so explosive here. Nice
I
little
mean,
3K, of course. And Mike, I have a question for you, actually.
sure, hit me with
Is
it.
it actually 51 stories?
So the logo I think says 51, right? And the Vito logo, I'm pretty sure it's the 51st floor. I know that I think it
Fair
was the
enough.
50th floor, and then they had like an update that changed a bunch of the construction, and they increased the number to 51. I want to say I don't remember exactly. I know it's you can see it somewhere on the map, but I'm never super confident in saying that.
I'm just curious because that's a really specific number, right? So that's cool though. We'll have to look it up afterward just to confirm, but I think you're right. Either way. Havan Liberty, Mike, 2 rounds back. Imperial on a pistol buy up here. You have to imagine it's going to be 13-12, and then Havan have a prime opportunity to tie things up here at 13-13, unless they fumble the ball completely into this round up against these 4 Deagles and the 5-7, which, you know, we've seen before many a time. And you're going to see Ali go out here with the AK, couple of pistols facing down on him. Just be a good flashbang, throwing to support DRG, helping him get one on Showtime, and then DRG pitches in for another on ZQK. 3 frags, in fact, come through for the Havan side, leaving only CK's out, and Delboni towards the A site. CK's out gives away his position, and Delboni, he's not going to fire for the time being, but I don't think it really matters because CK's out just gets sprayed down by DRG, who followed the tracers from the rounds of that Deagle through the smoke. Delboni sees a body, so he's going to try for the peek. I'm pretty sure Ali's expecting the rotation to come through, and he does get taken down. That's 1, but look at the damage taken by Delboni.
Yeah, he knows he can't just race for that gun. Someone's going to be posted, so he's going to try for something more. Obviously, at this point, the damage just really doesn't matter too much for Havan. Like, obviously, they don't want to lose everyone, but yeah, they won't. So it's going to be another very strong round here, and now they're just 1 away. Now I'm starting to think that in that first half, the reason they were so aggressive is that they just wanted to get to the second half as quickly as possible, right? They just wanted to get on. They're like, it doesn't matter what scoreline we have, provided it's not a 15-0, we'll be fine. It reminded, they even dropped the pistol coming into this one, and that's the only round they've lost. So they now have put, what?
9.
9 in a row on the board. That's insane.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to lose another round, Mike.
It's hard to see it. It is hard to see it. Everything is working for them. I mean, even they weren't even clearing corners in the first half. There were so many moments where someone got shot in the back because they didn't clear a corner. That's not happening here. You saw it in that setup in towards mid. This is crazy. I have never seen a starker difference between 2 halves for a team. I don't think. I just mind-boggling. Showtime. Falling into a really awkward spot, but they're not clearing him. As soon as I say they don't check the corners well, they didn't expect him to come through that particular smoke. Bit of a problem here. Still, the site player was lost, so an advantage found for Imperial for a moment. Remix in the middle will remix their faces, and while he does lose his life, he put this into an even 2v2 with ZQK burning. His position likely known, and good control as well. Is there a smoke here to cover off the defuse? There is. They need to just get on it. That smoke's thrown deep, though. There's a gap. It's a little awkward. I don't know if it's quite going to do what they wanted. But ZQK is going to try and tap that, try and get a response back the other way. The spam is there. Whoa! DRG almost got caught. ZQK is trying to force this fight. He doesn't have his time. He can't win this round, and he will lose his life to boot.
That smoke is really tough to work around for ZQK because both Havan Liberty players could isolate themselves around the edge of it, and, you know, obviously he's going to have to go for the fight eventually and can't get the defusal at all. And, well, Havan Liberty, despite the fact, I think that was a 5v3 for Imperial at the beginning, they fight it back. And Remix, oh my goodness, you know, we haven't seen too much of him. I did highlight him at the beginning, but that is why he is their top player. 2 impressive kills, and important ones as well, that come through with that big green gun. 13-13, we're all tied up from 12-3. We're tied 13 all, and Skulls gets the opener on Imperial, who are on a Deagle buy-up. They do have the Swag 7 in the hands of ZQK, and Horvey does manage to get the trade on Skulls, but he can't retrieve the gun, Mike.
Oh, here we go. Max 7 second as well. ZQK will be able to get the reward, but he's done so much damage here. They just have to avoid giving up the clutch. That's all they have to do. There's an AK on the other side. CK's is still very low. Ala revealing his position here, and as the smoke fades, this is going to get awkward. Pistol does damage. It's just a matter of time. Too many crosshairs. So here we go. Here's the round where Imperial salvage. That A-take thwarted by one cheeky Mag 7.
Of all the rounds, of all the buys, that
Had to
one?
be. Had to be. Had to be. And now the double op's out. They finally got the money for it. I mean, look, ZQK buys an op, and he's still got that much money to spare. Whew.
Those shotguns kills, man, they really pad your economy quite well. Oh. Imperial trying to shut this down now, but there's the opening frag again for Havan Liberty. Nice peek in the op duel for Remix. It does take a lot of damage, of course, since he was tagged in the leg, but Havan Liberty have the edge that they're looking for here.
Flashbang's over. See what the play is going to be here. Try and respond off that initial pick. Spam in towards the ramp. We've seen such a focus on towards B. It's surprising to me right now that a minute into the round, Havan Liberty are still threatening this. The fast place toward B has been effective, but there's Doc to get one more, and that's going to hold the rotation. Meanwhile, in mid, Ale could completely unseat this round. Timing going to be everything here with this duel with Delboni. Timing will be everything. He's come off the angle. He's come off the angle. There's no one to watch mid. Oh, no. If they pinch this at the right time, these Imperial players are done for. They might even float CK Zhao back to support this, but Ala hasn't found a wraparound just yet. Molly's going to force them back off the angle. The utility's been good here. They need to have it again. The flashbangs to fourth. Delboni might have a lineup. There's one. There's two. Losing teammates. There's the play through mid, and that puts so much pressure on. There's no getting away from it. It was a little late, maybe, but the timing was perfect to secure the round. And Havan Liberty will tie this up again. 14 all. 30 rounds we're getting, 100%. But this is the last hurrah for Imperial.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, you mentioned the mistake mid-round, Mike, but Ale being given that space, leaving mid open for Imperial is the reason why they lose that round, because Ale found two of the last three players coming on forward. So there you have it. Havan Liberty bounce right on back after losing that previous round. You have to win the game. Should run that Mag 7 a little bit more, because that's the reason why they won that previous round. Anyway, showtime with the Famasa close and personal here at the B stairs. Gets one, but only one. Ale trades him out. 4v3 advantage. And Morby's waiting with the op. Should be able to get this. No, misses the shot. And he will get tagged down to 40 and has to fall off that angle. He's probably going to call for reinforcements, and he absolutely does. But Havan have not committed towards this hit just yet.
They're going to come into A instead, and they're going to have that op in mid to section them off. This is going to be such a rough situation for Imperial to deal with. They're pushing down on the flank. Is anyone watching the flank? Okay, so this could be the timing. Big catch for Doc, though. Now he's going to realize it's completely clear, so they could just rock on in. They're hesitating, clearing out the 1 or 2 spots that someone still could be lurking. The only way this play works out is if CK Zhao and Delboni find the flank, but I think they're even going to think about the save. They're going to move back into T-spawn. They're going to try and keep these guns up to play for OT.
You can't throw these guns away because your economy's shot. You know, you're going to walk into this next round with just SMGs and pistols maximum if you don't save these rifles. So Imperial going to bring them on forward into round number 30, but Havan Liberty, I mean, just an incredible run right now. 12-2 run here on this second half of play. Just unbelievable T-side. I don't have words for it, to be honest with you, Mike. It's just, I guess that aggression, like you were saying, it works on T-side, but not so much.
It's so much more tempered here. Apart from the plays where they send Doc literally flying into the site off the road boost, it's a lot more tempered. This is wild. This is wild. They'll keep the 2 rifles alive into the next. Imperial will at least have a chance to fight for OT here, but they have just been swamped out of this half. 2 completely isolated rounds, one of which was the pistol, and that's it. And the other one came off of a Mag 7 clip, of all things. So now they've got to get it done with just the rifles. They've got to make it happen here, or they're going to see this map drip away. It is admittedly Havan Liberty's map pick, but as we said before, there's question marks about the maps throughout this veto here for Imperial. So to watch this lead slip away, it's got to be painful.
Oh, there's no doubt. That's not fun for any level of Counter-Strike to lose a 12-3 lead, Mike.
Certainly not. Now, let's see. A bit more of a patient round for Havan Liberty. I think they're expecting some sort of response. Look at how far back they're holding, especially towards B. There's a player watching in mid. That's Ala, who's so far back. And then you've got Skulls waiting deep to see if the wrap comes in down the stairs. I mean, this is the most patient round we've ever seen from them. I do wonder if changing up the formula at this point is the ticket, but we'll see. We'll see if Imperial can maybe capitalize on the space they've been given. There's a player out by the cement bag, so if Molly comes in there, life's going to really stink for him. The spam from ZQK does reveal at least one. Molotov needs to come in for these cement bags, otherwise CK's out could thwart them. And they're going to come in to say hit. There's 3 players here, a 4th who can float back, and there's no mid presence in this round. Something that's worked out wonderfully for Havan Liberty in multiple. CK's out, be able to get the pick and pull away. Here's the spray back the other way, but this works out beautifully. Still 1 kill brought back, and Remix is looking for more. He's hunting. This is bold, though. It's a little isolated. Player in the side hallway. Ali's not going to get anything. We're going to get OT here unless Remix has something wild to say about it. He's just going to chase in. Deleted. We're getting more rounds. This Vertigo can't end here. Havan Liberty, they change up the pace. And we'll have to find out if they can get back to their winning ways after this break.
We were caught in the fire. Our faith was left out in the open. Saw the fear in your eyes as we move through the dust. Nights turn into days, one by another. Under darkened skies, we await, bound to each other. But our spirits never die. Faded as we push through the darkest times. I'll be there by your side. We arise when everything's breaking. Our souls will awaken. Our spirits never die. At the end of the line, the trust in our hearts beating louder. Under darkened skies, we await, bound to each other. But our spirits never die. Faded as we push through the darkest times. I'll be there by your side. We arise when everything's breaking. Our souls will awaken. Our spirits never die.
All right, folks, after a blistering T side with pressure towards the B stairs, nice lurks in towards mid, Havan Liberty said for this last round of the game, we're not going to do any of that. We'll go back to the default A ramp take. And it did not work for them. So we are going to get overtime here, John. We're going to get more CS. But for Imperial, it's about trying to stop this T side. Will Havan Liberty just go back to what was working? And and pressure B. It seems like they will, but here's the adjustment from Imperial. 3 players ready to fight into this mid-take, and the off's going to be posted up for the first. There's 2 more to find. Remix will come in and give it away for free, and this is a great adjustment from Imperial. They've finally found an antidote to at least one of the things that Havan was doing.
Yeah, at the very least, use that time you have in between regulation and overtime to talk things over and adjust the way you're playing. And like you said, that's a great job from them to isolate any control of mid. And now they spotted out Doc pushing in the back halls to the A site. That's going to make it a 5v2 in favor of Imperial. You have to be wondering where on earth this was for the entirety of the second half. Showtime drops DRG, only skulls left in a 4v1. 55 seconds on the clock, and he does have the bomb on his back, so maybe a few isolated ones, and he'll be able to get back into this. There's one. CK Zao goes down, but he takes so much damage in that engagement that he's a hair away from death.
He trips. He's dead. He looks in the wrong direction. He's dead. There's the wrong direction. Its name is Horvey. So, after only being able to find 3 rounds in regulation on the T side, a pistol, an isolated round off of a shotgun clip, and the last round, most importantly, Imperial kick off overtime with a CT round win.
Yeah.
I refuse to predict what might happen in this game anymore because...
Oh, there's... I mean, we're past that already, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, we're into the madness now. Remix is going to get an opening pick. They're working the steps here. They don't have anyone towards mid for either side, really. But Doc trying to get a little bit of a boost up out towards Ramp. Ramp has really not been great for Havan Liberty through most of this. Ironically, it doesn't seem to be their forte, despite the fact that it is the most typical T-side play we see on this map. Utility going to be sailing over towards B. This is where they've had a lot of success, but the more passive play might work. A 1-for-1 trade's good here, and Showtime's forcing the angle. He's forcing the fight. Going to be able to withdraw, courtesy of the smokes, but that'll leave it in even numbers with this bomb getting planted, and that is nicely done here. Sorry, what was that?
No, DRG was right over the tip of the smoke there, visible over it, I should say, and he didn't see him. That could have been a big edge for Imperial.
Would have been a nice kill to find. As it is, they'll try and work their way in, and the ult might be the first thing to get past. Being very slow into this. That's a shot that rings out. It's not a kill just yet. Remix missing his next opportunity, but he'll get a third. Cracking on in here. They're going to try and smoke this, but it's all come down to the diffuser, and Remix wants a little stabby stab. Oh, DRG. Rude. Stealing that from him. But it doesn't really matter how you do it. What matters is that you take the round and even up the scoreline once more.
Wow, well, now it's just going to be back and forth play, it seems, into this OT, Mike. Last round of the first half of the first OT. And both Imperial and Havan Liberty looking to take that edge into the second half. Havan going for AKs across the board, except for that off of Remix's hands. And, of course, he's been very solid with it. A couple of highlight reel plays, especially in that last round, where he shut things down on the post plant. CK Zao going for some aggression here towards the ramp. And in the meantime, it's on the other side of the map that the frags are coming through at B. Horvey and Delboni get a couple, but it's Skulls to find 2 of his own and even that at 3v3. And the problem here for Imperial is no one's left on that A site, or B site, excuse me, as Doc is going to find ZQK.
And with ZQK down, now CK Zao has to come back to support, so it means these players are completely isolated. He's going to make some solo dolo plays, but CK Zao could actually find the timing. He's being watched for. He's being watched for, and he's dead. Well done for Doc. Had the awareness to recognize what the play might be to try and find an edge there. And at this point, well, it's going to be left to Delboni in a 1v3 clutch. Right now, he's praying that that's somehow a fake, and they're actually going to come towards B. Nope, that's not going to happen, bud. Time to reposition. This bomb is going down, and you got to pull off the 1v3 retake. You want to go to do it. What's that, Molly? And he will, in fact, approach the direction you would expect.
Yeah, I do believe Delboni started the round over on the A site and tried to rotate to support on B, but Havan had already made their move, and Delboni's going to come around here, toss some Molotovs towards the sandbags or cement bags, and Doc will have to make a move here on top of them. Takes a lot of damage, but not spotted out, and he will finish Delboni off. So first half of the first OT will go Havan Liberty's way, Mike.
So an edge for Havan Liberty, but considering the way the T-sides have gone in this game, a one-round lead is not exactly the most encouraging, right? It has been both teams struggling to figure out their defense, making a lot happen on the attacking half. And now we'll see if Imperial can do much the same. They need to run 3 to win it. For Havan, just the 2. 19's the magic number here, folks. 18, 18, and we go again. We'll see. There come a play on over. And what do you know? Doc's going to push down the side hallway. This time he spams the right angle. What a hard play to read. It works this time. Can't fault him for it, I guess. And a ton of damage done on ZQK as well. We'll burn him alive. So the aggression down A ramp works out beautifully this time. Imperial seem to have been caught flat-footed. Despite the fact that that was the play throughout the entire first half. They have just been shut down, and this one is going to be left to Horvey, and Horvey will get nothing, completely blanked out. Map point has been found. Havan, Liberty need one more.
Hey, look, press W worked there for Havan.
It's the exact same play they made every round of the first half. Like,
look, it worked, Mike. I missed their CG side. It's been a few rounds, right?
That one's my question to Imperial is, you knew that was coming, right?
That's true.
Like, you had to anticipate that play. Well, okay. What do they get going? What do they get off the rip? And he's going to do it again. He's going to do it again. What? How does it work? There was even a player ready to punish, but a Molotov pushed them out of that corner. Teammates been lost. This exchange in towards the ramp is so costly, and DRG just pulled an RNG out of the hat. He's going to get one more. The nade chases Horvey and CK Zhao, the last survivors of their squad. They have to pull this round back. The aggression for Havan has worked out here. And they don't have any information. They don't have any positioning. There's a player deep down B ramp, so that's not an option. They're going to try and work A. In the meantime, there's a player behind the cement. There's a player back in towards site. Is there a smoke? There is, at least on Doc. You can toss it over here. There's one on DRG as well, so this position should be secure. There is a Molotov to force out one of those smokes and at least get some info. But they're going to commit it to the side hallway instead. Now they know they're comfortable. DRG will find the timing to push on out. He's brought it down just to the 1. CK Zal will try. There's a player fast on his flank. There is nowhere to go here. There is nowhere to go but forward. And he's going to try it into these 2, into the off angle, into the crosshair. The flight down into the forklift. That is actually isolated. Skull's giving him a chance, a lifeline back into this round. And with how quick the rotations are, he could just dip and head towards B. But no, fancies his chances here on the primary side. Is brought it down to the 1v1. Clutch, and he'll have the shot as well. CK Zhao takes advantage of their complete lack of discipline to pull off a brilliant 1v3. Every player fought him isolated. Without their teammate in position to trade or peek, every player took that fight alone.
Mike, that was a 1v4.
Yeah, it was. Yep, I even thought it was just a 1v3. No, that was a 1v4. I mean, really nicely played from CK Zhao, but they give him the opportunity. They give him each individual kill with no support going back the other way.
And if you're Skulls, you don't have to face in forklift. You can wait until your teammates say, okay, he's pushing up now, we saw him, you have the opportunity to come on the flank. Instead, he faces, gives him the opportunity at the 1v1, and he gets it, and then after that, at the cement bags, another one comes through, and just, oh my goodness, just a complete and total collapse on the defensive end for Havan Liberty, even though I was going to compliment them, Mike, because I thought their aggression was much more coordinated at the beginning of the round than we've seen in the past, because Doc gets the opener and DRG swings around from the ramp to spray through the smoke at the retreating players and managed to get 1 and even a second. So that was just, that's a collapse on the defensive end. But Doc's going to come through, does the exact same play. Now we'll get punished, and Imperial are going to get a couple. It is a 4v3 now with a nade connecting from alley, but you have to imagine that Imperial got the number now.
Maybe. Showtime's still low. This round could be anyone's. More OT on deck if Imperial do convert it. For Havan, a chance to close things out despite their stumbles in this half. A massive clutch. They've been the tipping point in this game. EQK waiting for it, and why not? History has shown that if you wait long enough, they're probably going to give you something. Repositioning. Utility being set up here. It's come down to a minute, but there's still no need to commit. Imperial want to stick to their first read, and that's good. Ali comes in. He does get 1, at least, on the exchange, but player up above the smoke. Remix is vulnerable to Delboni right now. He backs off. Timing not working out for him, and now Skulls has dropped the bomb. Skulls has dropped the bomb, and there's 40 seconds left to go, but he's lost his teammate. It's all under this man, Skulls. Can he pull back a clutch to match the other? They're going to chase. They're going to fight, but ZQK is going to hit the shot, and we're going for more overtime here, John. More rounds.
Oh, boy. I mean, look, okay. So the reason we're here is because CK's out clutch is a 1v4, right?
Yeah.
But it was just... I don't know. I can't even... I don't want to talk about it anymore. It just really unfortunate
missed
play from
opportunity.
Havan. Yeah, this should be over for all intents and purposes, but Imperial get a second chance, maybe even third chance that should not even have materialized. But we're in double OT now, and ZQK is going to toss a smoke and a flashbang out here. As always, Doc is right there in scaffolding, perhaps predictably so at this point for the Imperial side. And instead, they're going to go for a complete switch up here and hit the B site, which no one's really watching on Havan's end. You do have Skulls here behind the ventilation shaft, but he's not really in a position to do much thanks to some very good utility thrown on the Imperial end.
Ooh, around the girder. Remix going to connect on a big shot there. Havan, they just need to get something out of the CT half. But the bomb's going down. It's an even exchange, and they're completely out of position. They're all coming from the same side. There's no flank. There's no pressure. But Remix, once again, is going to light the way with the AWP. The timing, though, for Horvey is good. He's left Delboni on 1v2. We've seen plenty of clutches come through, though, for Imperial, and they'll try this again. They will try this. Taking away. Could just hop on the defuse, but once again, a lack of information, a lack of awareness is going to cost them. Ali's just going to try and force the fight. Playing around the boxes. There comes the check. There comes the shot. Delboni's got it every day of the week. Imperial, their superior discipline once again nets them around. Not forcing the fight too early. Peeking out just when you have to and converting.
All right. Havan don't have much money left in the bank now. Investing into the op and 4 M4A4s. Could be a rough buy-up in the final round of this first half of double OT if they don't come out with a win here. Orvy going to toss a lot of utility out there, and Showtime as well. Up that A ramp, and I mean, you got to predict the aggression at this point. If Imperial comes through, and yep, there they are, waiting for Doc and DRG to come through. ZQS gets a couple, at the very least. Havan get 2 of their own. Remix could find himself a third, and there it is. 3v2 somehow. That aggression does not get punished by Imperial, at least not enough. And Havan come out with 3 players. Now Horvey is going to spot out Skulls at the B site. I wonder what Imperial does at this point. Oh, look at the position for Ale. He's going to get 1, but okay. Delboni the trade.
And taketh away. Delboni expects the flank. This is a problem with pushing everywhere. It's, well, you might get a kill somewhere, but well, the other guy down no man's land. Bomb will be planted here, uncontested, so it does come down to the 1v1 clutch. Ale, Delboni. Footsteps being made. Was that heard? I think that was heard. I think he swung on the angle. Now
so,
he's certainly making no secret of this. So Delboni knows exactly where he's coming from. It's just going to hold for it. There's going to be the spot. There's the shot, though. And a reposition. He's not going to find much. Molly will section that off, but at this point, it might be time to just go for the smoke stick. But as he does, there's the peek around. There's the peek. There's the face back the other way. Smoke's going to come out, and here's going to come the tap. The stick. He's got to go in on it. Delboni doesn't realize he's on the bomb. Spam has to come through, but the spray is there. And Imperial, they pull up 2 on their T side.
Oh, and now the buy gets very rough for Havan here. They're going to have to settle for MP9s, some shotguns perhaps. Maybe that Mag 7 can come through and do some magic for them here, but looking like potentially a clean sweep for Imperial in the first half of the second OT. And yeah, they are going to manage to get a FAMAS up. 2 MP9s and 2 Deagles. They really wanted that utility, and of course you can't run the flame on a map like Vertigo. You need it on both sides of the coin. 1:48 on the clock. ZQK pushes out immediately looking for that face at the ramp, and he will find it through the smoke at the end of the day. That just bloomed as he had spotted out Ale. Doc comes through, and again, I mean, I can't believe he's even getting frags at this point in this exact same position every single round, but he's doing it, so credit to him, I suppose, for his persistence.
He's working with another player up in this angle. They're just going to race at him. What is happening? What? What? You pick up the op and you jump at them with the op out? What is that play? They're breaking my mind here. I don't understand what these players are eating for breakfast. I mean, whew, goodness. Now Havan Liberty are completely out of position to try and deny this last round. They're completely out of spot. They're going to come on in. Horvy's got the angle and... yeah. Oh, big whiff. Could have been both. Probably still will be both. And indeed it will be. Horvy secures the clean T-side half of overtime. Now just one round needed for Imperial to snatch away their opponent's map pick. Just one round, but it has to come on the CT side, and that has been something that's eluded these teams, to say the least.
Yeah, lest we forget that Havan Liberty pulled off, what was it, 9-10 rounds in a row on their T-side.
Yep.
So it's not out of the realm of possibility for them to pull off the clean sweep as well. But that was a market improvement for Imperial on their T-side, as they really were able to deal with everything that Havan was throwing at them. And of course, it was the exact same strat 3 times in a row. So anyway, Delboni gonna go and peek into the scaffolding and fire off a few shots. Just trying to make sure no one pushes up, and he does connect on Doc, and now CK Zal will finish him off. Imperial 4 frags away from ending Vertigo, their opponent's map pick, with a win, and they'll jump onto Nuke, which is their map pick and one of their best maps in the pool.
Prime circumstances for Imperial. At this point, I'm just hoping someone can close this game. Feels like that may not be the case. Showtime just on the other side of this danger panel. Did he hear that? Oh, he does, but not in time to figure it out. Pressure's going to be on for Horvy. Actually coming around. Good peek, good clear, good shots. The site is open and Skulls finds a third. They're not out of this just yet. This is not done. They control the flank. The utility goes in deep. This is the B-side take that was working so well for them in regulation. That bomb's now planted. CK Zal and Delboni thinking about how they want to go about this. They're going to save. They're going to save. That's the reality of the 10K overtime. They are going to save these guns and try and keep them alive into the next. Havan Liberty find 19 at the very least.
You know, I think both OTs, both start bunnies have their benefits, right? The 16K, you get to see rifles every single round. You don't have to really worry too much about your buy aside from maybe double op setups. But I like the fact that the 10K forces you to think a little bit more and be reactive on these retakes, in particular on your CT sides. Anyway, Havan Liberty, that's an excellent take. That's what we saw for their entire T side, jumping on through to that B site, exploding onto it, and finding the frags. But that time, just Skull standing on his head by himself, literally the tip of the spear, finding absolutely everything that they possibly needed.
Perfect entries. Perfect entries. I mean, this is just... this game, I feel like I have whiplash from how far back and forth it's gone in overtime.
Yeah.
Still, another prime attempt here for Imperial. They might run into a little bit of money issues in the last, but saving those 2 guns should help paper over the deficiencies there. So let's see what Imperial can do here. Aggressive down the B stairs, but Skulls is ready to temper that aggression. Problem is, DRG right behind him falters as well. Tried to get further into that, so now an advantage found for Imperial. Can they hang on to it? The response is going to come towards A ramp. This is a good response. You know you saw 3 on the B steps. Well, where can they not be? Here. So the question becomes, what can CK Zal do? Has to be good. Molotov to force him out of position. Will just dump a smoke to give himself cover. Doesn't want to give up this kill, and the reinforcements are going to be here. Not fast enough for Havan Liberty to capitalize, as they're methodically working this take, but they also have methodically allowed their opponents back into the angles. Still got a minute. They don't have to commit. They could leave, but they've dumped all their utility into this one. This is gonna happen. They're gonna go.
Yeah.
So they're starting to make their way forward. All the smokes have been committed, so they better plant while they're still up. Otherwise, you're gonna wind up in a tough spot. Their own Molotov causing some issues here. Now I don't know if he's gonna be able to get away. Aids in. He won't. Span through, catches him immediately off. Good use of the counter util from Imperial to capitalize on that kill. Now a 4v2. Remix and Doc, the weight of the map on their shoulders. And Imperial will start their retake. That's a nice shot for Remix. What a flick. A second comes through from Doc, and they're holding the line. They're holding the line. They're kicking them off the bomb plant. Showtime has to go forward to clear that. Remix is going to play this so bold. CGK, yes! What's happening? Oh no, he's too high because he's up on the edge of the crane. He doesn't realize he's still defusing, and that's how the game ends. Right under his nose, directly below his op. The defuse will go on. Imperial have won it. Imperial have stolen their opponent's map pick.